What if the smart things you do in your garden every day are the exact reason your plants keep getting destroyed by pests? It's not bad luck, it's not the weather, it's you. But honestly, it's not your fault. Most gardeners spend years spraying chemicals and losing plants, never realizing these 7 everyday habits are literally sending pests a dinner invitation. Today, I'm exposing the 7 silent mistakes ruining your garden and the simple fixes that actually work. Pay close attention to number 4. Almost everyone does it assuming it's perfectly safe. It's not. And stick around to the very end. I'm revealing one bizarre protection trick I have never seen in a single gardening book. It changes everything. Let's get into it. Habit 7. Leaving outdoor lights on near your garden at night. Here's the mistake. You finish gardening for the day, the sun goes down, your outdoor light stays on. It feels completely normal. Maybe it's for safety, maybe you just forgot about it. But that light shining near your garden all night long is quietly pulling pests directly toward your plants, and almost nobody talks about this one. Here's why this is dangerous. Many insects are drawn to light because of a behavior called phototaxis, a natural instinct that pulls them toward artificial light sources. Most flying pests move toward light, mistaking it for the moon or stars. Moths, beetles, gnats, flying ants, and termites all swarm toward outdoor lights at night. Beetle damage in gardens is often much worse directly under lighted areas because nocturnal adults are strongly attracted to lights. And once those insects arrive at your light, your garden is right there waiting for them. Here's exactly how to fix it. When you do use exterior lights, do not leave them on for long periods. Switch to soft yellow or amber bulbs. These attract far fewer flying insects than standard white bulbs. Turn lights off completely once you are done outside. If you need security lighting, point it away from your garden beds, move the light source, and you move the pest traffic away from everything you have worked so hard to grow. Habit 6. Watering your plants at night. Here's the mistake. You get home from work, it's been a long day, you grab the hose and water your garden before it gets dark. It feels responsible. It feels kind. But watering at night is one of the most common ways gardeners accidentally roll out the welcome mat for pests. Here's why this is dangerous. When you water in the evening, it creates conditions that many nocturnal pests find ideal. Slugs, snails, earwigs, and beetles are some of the moisture-loving nocturnal pests that come out specifically in cool, damp environments. But pests aren't the only problem. When plants stay wet overnight, fungal pathogens have the perfect environment to grow and spread, causing diseases like powdery mildew, downy mildew, and leaf spot. So one simple habit at the wrong time of day opens the door to both pests and disease at once. Here's exactly how to fix it. Water your plants in the morning so the water gets absorbed and the plants dry out during the day. Water at the root zone, not the leaves. Use a drip hose or soaker hose if you can. Keep the foliage dry. That single change removes 2 problems completely. Pests can't party in a dry garden. Habit 5. Piling mulch too deep around your plants. Here's the mistake. Mulch is one of the best things you can add to your garden. It holds moisture, controls weeds, and protects your soil. So gardeners figure more is better. They pile it on thick. Some even push it right up against the base of their plants and tree trunks. That's the mistake, and it's quietly building a pest hotel right in your garden. Here's why this is dangerous. A too thick layer of mulch traps moisture, compacts over time, and becomes a shelter for slugs, ants, pill bugs, earwigs, and even mice and voles looking for a cozy hiding spot. And when mulch is piled directly against plant stems or tree trunks, it stays permanently damp against the bark. Layering mulch more than 3 inches deep causes too much moisture to remain in the soil, which deprives roots of oxygen and can lead to root rot. Weak, rotting roots make your plants an easy target for every pest nearby. Here's exactly how to fix it. Keep your mulch layer between 2 and 3 inches deep, no more. Pull it back at least 2 to 3 inches from plant stems and tree trunks. Mulch touching bark stays wet and invites rot, insects, and disease straight into the plant. Less mulch applied correctly gives you all the benefits with none of the pest problems. Here's the truth most pest guides will never tell you. Pests don't just show up randomly. They show up because your garden is giving them exactly what they need: food, shelter, moisture, and weak plants to feed on. That's it. There's a concept in ecology called habitat suitability. It simply means this: insects and pests move toward conditions that help them survive. If your garden creates those conditions, they will come, every time. You haven't been unlucky, you've been unknowingly building a perfect home for pests, one small habit at a time. The fix isn't more spray, the fix is removing what's attracting them in the first place. Stop fighting pests, start removing their invitation. That's the whole system, and once you see it that way, everything changes. Habit 4. Leaving dead plant debris in your garden. Here's the mistake. Your season is over, your plants are done, you're tired, so you leave the dead stems, old leaves, and finished plants right where they are and tell yourself you'll deal with it later. That later never comes, and in the meantime, something else moves in. Here's why this is dangerous. Pests like squash vine borers, squash bugs, cabbage loopers, tomato hornworms, and flea beetles can all overwinter inside dead leaves and plant debris, using it as protection from the cold. They survive the winter, they wake up in spring, and your fresh new plants are the first thing they find. What looks like harmless dead leaves is actually a fully stocked pest shelter, built right inside your garden. Here's exactly how to fix it. Remove finished vegetable plants and dead material from your garden at the end of every season, especially plants that had pest or disease problems. Don't compost diseased debris, bag it and throw it out. Clean beds equal fewer pests next spring. It really is that simple. Before we keep going, real quick, have you ever caught yourself doing any of these habits without realizing it? Drop a comment below and let me know. I read every single one and I genuinely love hearing from you. Okay, let's keep going. The next ones are even more worse. Habit 3. Leaving pet food or bird seed on the ground near your garden. Here's the mistake. You love feeding the birds. Maybe your dog eats outside, so you leave the bowl out or let the birdseed pile up on the ground. It feels harmless. It feels kind. But that food sitting near your garden is one of the most overlooked pest magnets out there, and most gardeners never make the connection. Here's why this is dangerous. Rodents are attracted to pet food, stored birdseed, compost piles, vegetable gardens, and fruit trees, and once they arrive for the easy food, they don't stay just for the food. They move into your garden beds, burrow into the soil, and chew through roots and stems. Pet food bowls left outside and bird feeders can attract squirrels, ants, rodents, raccoons, and slugs. One food source near your garden creates a chain reaction, and your plants end up paying the price. Here's exactly how to fix it. Store pet food in sealed containers and bring it indoors after feeding. Use bird feeders with catch trays to prevent seeds from accumulating on the ground. Move feeders away from your vegetable beds. Clean up spilled seed regularly. Remove the food source and you remove the reason pests have to visit your garden in the first place. Habit 2. Bringing home new plants without inspecting them first. Here's the mistake. You visit a nursery, you find a beautiful plant. It looks healthy, green, full of life. You bring it home and set it right next to your other plants. That's the mistake, because that beautiful plant may already be carrying pests and you just gave them a free ride straight into your garden. Here's why this is dangerous. A plant can look perfectly healthy in the shop while harboring a developing pest population. Spider mites, mealybugs, scale insects, thrips, and fungus gnats are not immediately visible at early infestation stages. And here's the scary part. One infested plant brought home can spread mites to your entire collection within weeks. What started as one new purchase quietly becomes a full garden infestation, and most gardeners never connect it back to that one plant they brought home. Here's exactly how to fix it. Quarantine every new plant for 2 to 4 weeks, keeping it physically separated from your existing plants before introducing it to your garden. During that time, check the undersides of leaves, look for webbing, and watch for tiny moving dots. If it passes the check, welcome it in. If not, treat it first. One simple habit protects everything you've built. Habit 1. Leaving overripe fruit on the vine. Here's the mistake. You work hard all season, your tomatoes finally turn red, And you think, I'll pick those tomorrow, then tomorrow turns into 3 days, and by then the pests already found them. Leaving overripe fruit hanging on the vine is one of the quietest pest invitations in your garden. Here's why this is dangerous. Ripe and overripe produce on the vine draws in fruit flies, rodents, and larger pests like raccoons and possums. The sweet, fermenting smell travels through the air like a signal flare, and once pests arrive for the fruit, they don't leave. They stay and attack everything else around it. There's more. When fruit cracks open on the vine, those split skins become a direct entry point for pests and mold. What started as one overripe tomato can spread damage across your whole bed fast. Here's exactly how to fix it. Pick your fruit the moment it starts to change color, not when it's fully red. Tomatoes do not need to fully ripen on the vine. Bring them inside and let them finish on your counter. You get better fruit and you remove the pest magnet completely. Check your garden every single day during harvest season. Make it a habit, not an afterthought. Here's the honest truth about all 7 of these habits. None of them feel like mistakes when you're doing them. Leaving overripe fruit on the vine feels like patience. Watering at night feels like dedication. Piling on thick mulch feels like protecting your soil. Leaving pet food outside feels harmless. Bringing home a new plant from the nursery feels exciting. Letting dead plant debris sit over winter feels like a job to do later. And leaving your outdoor light on all night feels like nothing at all. That is exactly why these habits keep working against you season after season. They look like good gardening, they feel like care. But underneath, every single one of them is quietly building the perfect conditions for pests to move in. Nothing about this is bad luck, it is just habits that have never been questioned until now. Okay, this is the one I saved for the end. I have never seen this written in any mainstream gardening book, and once you try it, you will wonder why nobody talks about it. It is called a trap crop, and the idea is completely backwards from everything most gardeners do. Instead of trying to keep pests away from your garden, you give them something better to go to. Here is how it works. A trap crop is a plant you add to your garden specifically to attract pests away from the main crops you are growing. Most garden pests have preferences for what they like. By planting a trap crop nearby, the pests are attracted to it and usually leave your main crops alone. The best plant for this? Nasturtiums. Nasturtiums produce chemical compounds that many insects find absolutely irresistible, often causing them to bypass nearby vegetables entirely. Aphids, cucumber beetles, squash bugs, flea beetles, they all go straight for the nasturtiums first. Plant them 4 to 6 feet away from the crops you want to protect. Close enough to pull pests in, far enough that the pests don't hop right back over to your vegetables. Let the pests feast on the nasturtiums. Then remove the infested leaves or the whole plant and dispose of them. You are not fighting pests anymore, you are redirecting them. That is the whole game. That is all 7 habits, and the secret technique most gardeners never use. Here is what I want you to take away from this. Pests do not just show up, you invite them with small habits, done every day without thinking. But now you know, and knowing is everything. Pick one habit from this video, just one, and change it this week. That is all it takes to start breaking the cycle. If this video changed how you think about your garden, hit that like button, it helps more gardeners find this. Subscribe so you do not miss what is coming next, and drop a comment telling me which habit surprised you the most. I will see you in the next one.